Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm back with my May wrap up, and it was a really busy month. I did really good this month. Participated in 2 readathons, which helped a lot. I did the Bowden Books 10.0 and sort of a self-created readathon along with Charlotte from Ramblings of an Elfpire. We came up with our own little review copy readathon, so we could kind of focus on review copies. So overall, I read 22 books. I went through 1 classic, 7 YA novels, 5 manga, 6 graphic novels, and 3 adult novels. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the books I don't have physical copies for, because either they were ebook advanced copies or audiobooks. And might be going a little kind of fast. I'm going to try and get through this fairly quickly so it's not a really long video. So the first one was an ebook advanced manga, and this is Terraformars. Oh, actually, I won't do that. Okay. And it is a story by Yu Sasuga and art by Kenichi Takebana. I saw this available for download, and I thought I'd give it a try. I like the cover artwork, and the inside artwork is pretty good as well. And it's basically the story of Earth trying to terraform Mars to make it livable. And of course, the planet's very cold, and they come up with this plan to send mold up there so it'll like coat the surface of Mars and turn it black, thus drawing in the sun's heat. And they also send cockroaches up there for the mold to feed on to continue growing. And then, like decades later, they send up a crew to kind of go up there and dispose of the cockroaches and clean up things, and things don't go very well. The last transmission from that crew states that the cockroaches have sort of evolved, and the entire crew is wiped out. Now another long time passes. I don't remember the exact time frame, but they send up another crew of astronauts to kind of see what's going on, and they arm these astronauts with an ability to hopefully fight off the cockroaches, these evolved cockroaches, and they're sent along with these injections that can give them the strength of various types of insects, either the ability to fly or the strength of an ant. If you think how strong an ant is, it can carry so much more weight than its own body weight. All sorts of different kind of power-ups, you might call it, like a video game that they can eject. When they get there, they find these 7-foot-tall evolved cockroaches that look humanoid-ish, and it was just a very, very strange concept, and it just didn't really work very well for me. It just was too weird, you might say. It's very violent. It's an adult, it says explicit content because of the brutal deaths that some of these astronauts are succumbed to. But yeah, it was just a very, very strange book. Overall, I only gave that one 2 stars. The next one that I listened to was an audiobook of, I'm going to bring it up here. Come on. Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger, and also listened to book 2, come on, Curtsies and Conspiracies. And this is a YA steampunk kind of book about a young girl by the name of Sophronia. One day this woman shows up who's part of a finishing school, and she is inviting the young girl, Sophronia, to kind of join the school. It's very elite and everything, and the mother jumps at the chance to send her daughter there, even though she didn't apply for it or anything. It's sort of like the mother's just like happy to get the girl out of her hair. Hopefully she'll learn to become a proper lady and behave and all this stuff. But Sophronia comes to find out this finishing school is much different than any kind of school that I think she or her mom had imagined. It's a school to train people in the art of etiquette and espionage. It's full of lots of humor, lots of steampunk things. Like the school itself doesn't have a specific location. It actually floats above the ground, and it'll kind of lower itself nearer the ground for people to kind of board it, and then off it goes again. And it's really, really unique concept. The whole world building in this was interesting. The main plot of the first book is some sort of device known as a prototype, which we don't quite know what it is missing, and a group is sort of after it, and Sophronia and some of her classmates find out about it and are trying to thwart these people from stealing it, and it's it's just really intriguing. I love the parts with Sophronia trying to learn how to curtsy. It's like cringeworthy, you might say, at the beginning, and just all the other things that they learn, wielding weapons and things. It's just very bizarre type of school, but a very enjoyable series. I love, like I said, the humor, but that was my favorite part. I gave both of those books 4 stars. And then the last audiobook I listened to was one I got for free download. And this is my classic. And this is The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. There you go. And this is actually read by Sir Derek Jacobi, which made it really enjoyable. Love him as an actor, too. So, of course, y'all pretty much know the story of The Time Machine. H.G. Wells created the whole concept of traveling through time in books here. And this man creates this device. We never know his name. We're sort of introduced to him through some guests at a dinner party that he has hosted. And he shows them a small little model version of this time machine, which he makes disappear. They think it's some sort of magic trick. And then he shows them the full-scale model. And on a subsequent return dinner invitation, they're wondering, he's late for the party. He shows up, quite a disheveled state, and tells them this amazing story of a journey he has taken 800,000 plus years into the future. And it's just a really captivating story. I absolutely loved it, and I gave that one 4 stars as well. I read In the Shadows by Kiersten White, and with the art by Jim DiBartolo. I did a full review of this on my channel. It's a graphic novel and part text story. 2 kind of stories running parallel with each other, and you wonder through most of the way how these 2 parallel stories are going to join together. It's really, really intriguing. The artwork is wonderful. It does not contain any text at all. You just learn the story through those pictures. And when I thought I knew what was going on, I was completely blown away. Total surprise, and I absolutely loved the ending, loved everything through it, and I gave this one 5 stars. Then I just read another one of my mangas in the Vampire Knight series by Matsuri Hino, number 15. I gotta go into a lot of details since it's so far into the series, but I gave this 5 stars. I've had this one on my shelf for quite some time. This is Kim Harrison's Into the Woods, and it is a collection of her short stories. It says Tales from the Hollows and Beyond, because I think there's about 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 short stories from her Hollows series, which is one of my favorites, as you probably know if you've followed me on this channel for a while. And she also has 4 short stories that are outside of that realm. And it was interesting to see some of these other characters and worlds that she creates. But I'm not a big fan of short stories overall. Some of the ones from the Hollows series I liked, and some were just okay. I've read a lot of them before in earlier publications from like the paperbacks. They had them included in the back. Or I think they were in parts of anthologies. So I was kind of familiar with some of those. The ones that were outside of the Hollows series were new to me. But overall I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read another manga in the Blue Exorcist series. This is number 7 by Katsuo Kato. Again, we're pretty far into the series, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but I'm loving this series and the anime as well. And I gave this one 5 stars. Then, during one of the readathons, I picked up Dan Wells' Fragments. This is book 2 in the partial sequence. I really, really enjoy the world that takes place as sort of a post-apocalyptic world. There was an isolation war where humans kind of created these robot, like cyber-type beings that look very humanistic. You can't tell them apart from people, but they created these beings to fight in the wars for them. And when they tried to reintegrate into society, human beings did not want them. They didn't want them part of living side by side with them. And a war kind of breaks out between the humans and these partials. And the world has just been devastated also by a virus that's unleashed. The humans believe it's the partials that created this RM virus. No newborn survives more than like 3 days. So the population is dwindling desperately. And in this book, our main character, Kira, is sort of trying to find this cure that she thinks the partials might hold within their bodies to try and bring back and hopefully save human civilization. It's basically a big journey type plot in this one. They travel quite far. It's a lot of hardship. And it is stretched out a little bit for me. I mean, it's a pretty big chunk of a book, but I think if it was a little shorter, a little trimmed up more, it might float a little bit better. For that, I gave it 4 stars. Then I read another one in my Y the Last Man series. This is Ring of Truth, Volume 5. Like I said, I don't want to go into too much detail with these. It's just I guess it's sort of an apocalyptic type tale in which some kind of disease is broken out, and all the male population, except for one man by the name of Yorick, and a male monkey by the name of Ampersand, are the only surviving males on Earth that we know of. This virus sort of wiped out everybody instantly. And they are trying to, he and some others are trying to travel to a lab that belongs to this Dr. Allison Mann. Interesting last name, Mann. But she hopes to try and uncover the truth as to why he was immune to this virus. And there's a mysterious agent, Agent 355, that's all we know. She works with some organization, and it's just trying to figure out what everybody's game is, what the plan is, what they're all after, and how humans can survive if there's just one male in the entire population. So I gave this one 5 stars. Then I read 84 Charing Cross by Helen Hanff. I did a review for this one. Absolutely loved it. Really short, little adult novel. Kind of a book about books. This particular woman, Helen Hanff, was an American writer living in New York, and she writes about, well, actually she writes the story through the letters that she wrote to a used book dealer by the name of Frank Noel, living in the UK. He works at a used book shop that specializes in out-of-print type books that she needs for her writing, and they strike up quite a friendship. It's just a really, really delightful book. Love the writing style. Again, very interesting, being told, strictly through letters, and just really, really enjoyed that, and gave that one 5 stars.